Hey, welcome to another episode of Midnight Quest, where tonight we will be continuing our hero's journey through the deepest tunnels underneath the World's Edge Mountains in an effort to reach the besieged Emperor's army in Keller's Keep. Tonight we are going to be playing Quest 3 of our second book. Now this is book 2 out of 14 books in our campaign. We have a ton more quests coming at you guys before we are going to be sending a group of heroes up against the evil Dreadlord Zargon himself. Tonight, we are going to be following a group of heroes through yet another chamber of an ancient Dwarven stronghold. We're passing through a whole ton of these down in these tunnels underneath the World's Edge Mountains, and tonight we are going to be passing through something that was once known as the Warrior Halls, but has since had residence taken by a whole bunch of monsters. So we better get rid of those guys. As always, if you're hanging out in the stream tonight, don't be afraid to throw something in the chat so that I know you're there. We had literally record chat numbers last night, which was absolutely awesome. So looking forward to getting into some conversation again tonight. If you have any suggestions or questions about lore or questions about game mechanics, or even just want to chat about anything at all, definitely throw something in that chat. Always great to have some fun while we play. Don't forget, you can also catch all previous episodes of Midnight Quest, including quests, painting streams, and daily shorts over on the Midnight Quest YouTube channel. So if you could hit follow here on Twitch and also subscribe over on YouTube and all of those great things, it is super, super appreciated. We appreciate every single one of our followers that we have gained so far. We've been growing steadily, and that is mind-boggling for both my wife and I, which is awesome. Okay. We've got some quests set up that we need to get moving on, so I guess we better get into that. Bohemius, you're here. How's it going, man? Oh, hey, I'm glad you're here. Actually, let me pull up something really fast. I like the Chaos Warlock guy bouncing around there, too. Here we go. I need to try and copy a link here. I hope this will work. We made a Discord. Oh, and Cody's here. Good to see you as always. For both you guys, there's a link to the Discord server that was just started up today. It's still basic, but it should be working. Justin Pollitt was already throwing some pictures in there earlier today of the first light session that he ran at his house. So definitely looking forward to some more pictures in there of different stuff. Bohemians, definitely throw in some of your paint jobs. I'm really looking forward to seeing those. All right, quest setup. Let's get this thing going. I'm feeling a little bit out of it today. This has been another kind of patience-trying day, and I don't feel completely awake. So hopefully I'm with it enough to do this. Oh, and Cody says he played Hero Quest on his PC all day. Awesome. I bet that was very nostalgic. It's been a little while. Okay, now normal viewers probably know this already, but we'll go ahead and explain it just in case anybody's here watching for their first time, whether this is live or you're watching this later on YouTube. We have 11 heroes in our ranks, and only 4 can go on the quest. So we are going to use these Beatles cards, which match up to a character randomizer sheet on the wall behind me, to decide which of our 4 heroes, or which 4 heroes are going to be going through the Warrior Halls tonight. Our first hero, the Ace of Diamonds, is Treyas the Wizard. That is this fella right here, fairly newly painted. I think he's been on a quest once before as a painted hero. I don't remember. Oh yeah, also we can stick them on the entrance door here. Our second is the Queen of Diamonds, which is Robert Tylan the Berserker. That's surprising that we're seeing him again already. This means he is now going to be our most experienced hero. We need to do another roll through and make sure that we're not getting people who are too much more experienced than everybody else. This guy was literally painted last night. So while we were streaming the quest last night, Savannah was down here painting this guy. So Robert Tylan's going. Our next hero, the Nine of Diamonds, is Paya the Monk. Here she is. Also fairly recently painted, but she's definitely been on a quest or two since then. She was on our Witchlord quest, I think. She got to witness Gromina's amazing feat. Of strength, not her literal feet. The Four of Hearts is Valerna the elf. Here she is. That's a pretty good team right there. 2 guys, 2 girls. I love the feather cape. I literally did not know that's what that was until you painted that. I just thought she had a cloak on.
Nope.
It's feathers. Okie dokie, so we need to get all of their character sheets out and ready to go. Now let's see what we've got here, because if you watched last night's episode, then you will know that we are play testing a personality trait system, which I am still working on transferring over to character sheets. Didn't quite get done. In fact, wouldn't you know, the 2 that I managed to not get done before the stream started are heroes that are going on the quest tonight. So I guess we better do that before we get started. There's Paya. And who else do we need? Treyas. There's Treyas. Okay, so I'm working on transferring data from the old character sheets, if you will, which seems weird to me to say, to these new character sheets that include the personality system written on them. And of course, I almost got everybody transferred over today before the stream started, except Robert Tylan and Valerna. I was really hoping that neither of them would get drawn for this quest, but here we are. So I guess I better finish doing that so that we can continue to play test this system and make sure that it doesn't need changing. Okay, I almost finished Robert Tylan, so the only thing that we need to do here is roll his personality stuff. Everything else was already transferred over to the new sheet. So we have 6 categories for personality at the moment. This is something, again, that I think we're going to build on over time. The first category is searching. So when he can search a room, what does he like to do? Is it fairly equal like we've been doing? Or does he prefer traps? Does he prefer secret doors? Does he prefer treasure? That sort of thing. I'm going to pull up a different thing over here. What I need is a 100-sided dice. That would be super handy for this thing. I've been using a virtual dice roller online, which I'm going to go ahead and pull up now so that we can get this thing randomized. 100 sides, and we're going to roll 8 dice, and we'll just kind of see what this comes up with. Okay, so this is what he rolled, and again, we're also keeping these personalities fluid, so if we're consistently seeing these characters do something other than what their personality states, we'll change the personality. We're going to kind of let these characters develop as they develop. So, for searching, Robert rolled that he prefers to search for secret doors. So we'll go ahead and write that in. Now the second category is combat type, which is close range, long range, or spells. He's a berserker. We don't even need the randomizer here. Berserkers are going to prefer long range, or close range. Sorry, like I said, I'm barely with it here. Close range. That just makes more sense. Also, our third category is battle or safety. Is he likely to check for traps before he walks into a room, or if there's monsters, is he going to go straight for the monsters? Again, berserkers, feels like he should be straight for the monsters. So we'll go ahead and mark him battle on that. The fourth category is when he uses spells or more likely items in his case, is he more likely to use them on himself or others or equal? And he rolled 68 for that, which is self. Kind of makes sense for a berserker again. And then we have the vendetta against or fear of, which I've tried to wait so that that doesn't happen very often. So he has rolled no fear. Again, makes sense for a berserker. But he did roll a vendetta, and it is against dread warriors. So if Robert Tylan sees a dread warrior, he is probably going to beeline straight for that thing. Okay, that's him done. And again, if you guys have any questions about this stuff or suggestions about this stuff, please put it in the chat. So I don't mind explaining whatever might need explained. And I also, especially with this, don't mind changing stuff if there's something in there that could be better. Okay, so for Valerna, I need to actually copy most of her information onto this new sheet. So forgive me while I just kind of copy numbers down. and also her equipment. She's got a broadsword and a short bow, which again is the same thing as a crossbow. We just called it something different for our imagination. A helmet and chainmail. 12 maximum body points. She's got a potion of healing. She's got the wand of magic. She's got the ring of return. And she's got a potion of defense. As far as her skill sets, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, Jack and Queen. How many quests has she been on total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quests. So tonight is going to be her 7th quest. And we're going to go ahead and copy over her levels. This is, just in case anybody new is watching, this is not something that we normally do. This is just because I ran out of time. And of course, the 2 that I didn't get to both got picked for tonight's quest. Okay, so that's all of her stuff other than rolling her stuff. So she has the same 6 categories. All the heroes have the same 6 personality categories. When searching, Valerna prefers to search for treasure. For combat type, she rolled equal, so she doesn't necessarily have a preference between close range or long range. For battle and safety, she also got equal, which is whether or not she searches for traps before she walks into a room. Using spells or items on herself or others, she rolled herself. So she's a little bit of a selfish caster. And then as far as vendetta and fear, she did actually roll positive for both of those things. So her vendetta is goblins. So Valerna has a particular hatred for goblins. She's going to probably go straight for those things. And then she has a fear of mummies. That's interesting because I think Mordecai the wizard also rolled a fear of mummies. So my plan for fear was that if a hero has a fear of some certain monster, fear might not really be the right word to use, because these are heroes, you know what I mean? They're courageous heroes. They're not gonna like literally run away from some sort of monster. My thought process was that's not the first monster they're gonna go for. Oh, Justin Pollitt's here too. Hello. But I have actually had a couple of suggestions that they should maybe even have detriments to their rolls if they are facing a monster that they are theoretically afraid of. And I'm kind of open to that idea. I'm worried about it, but then again, I also made it a very low chance that a hero rolls a fear of anything. So maybe it won't mess with anything too bad. So we'll have to keep that in mind. If Valerna comes face to face with a mummy tonight, we'll have to try and keep in mind that maybe we need to play that a little bit different. Okay. Let's get all their items out. We do have 655 gold coins. Do we need anything from the armory, or should we save? Because we are, honestly, we're a little low. And we're looking pretty good right at the moment. We could definitely get Valerna a battle axe. And we do have the money for that. But we could also, Atreus is in need of a redwood wand, which would put his long range up to 3, but that's 1,000 coins. We don't have enough for that. Oh, you know what? I've also just noticed he's got a helmet. We should change that over to Western leather hood, which again, isn't anything different. It's just kind of for our imagination. A wizard's not likely to be wearing a metal helmet. Yeah, I think honestly getting Valerna that battle axe might be the smartest thing if we're going to do something for a hero, just so that she's swinging 4. Yeah, I think we will go ahead and do that. I'm pretty sure those are 450 coins, but let me check, because we can also sell the broadsword she's got. Eventually she's going to be able to go back to using a sword, but for now we might as well have her hitting as hard as she can. So the broadsword will be able to sell for 125 coins, and yes, the battle axe is 450. Let me pull up my calculator so that I don't have to do math live on camera. We have 655 right at the moment. We are going to get, what did I say, 125 for selling her broadsword. And then we are going to subtract 450 for buying her a battle axe, which is going to leave us with 330 coins. And it's going to leave Valerna a little bit stronger. She's going to be hitting with 4 close range. Okay, got all that changed. Need to make sure this gets changed. 330 coins. There we go. So that's going to be our trip to the armory taken care of. As far as the actual items that we do have Traeus with a toolkit. He's the only one with a toolkit. So if there's traps in this quest, it's going to have to be Traeus taking them out. He's got a potion of strength. We don't need to give him the Orcsbane card, but he does also have a spell ring, which is going to be important for his spells. Robert Tylan has a potion of healing. Paya has a potion of healing and a heroic brew. Valerna has a potion of healing. She has the wand of magic, the ring of return, and a potion of defense. Nice. Justin says, by the way, I want to say thank you for introducing me to this game. It's become a favorite at my table. All my friends love it too. Awesome. Glad to hear that. It's always nice to get somebody new into something like this, that is for sure. I have done it quite a few times in my life. That is also Cody, who's here in the chat, introduced this to him when we were both really, really young. Now Merlin, who's in here a lot that I played with, I did not introduce this game to him. He had actually owned it way back in the day and sold it. So when we all joined the previous band, not Afterwinter, but the band before that, he gave Dad some old minis that he found that he hadn't sold, and some of them were HeroQuest. And Dad was like, wait a minute, do you know what this is? And James was like, oh yeah. That's an old game, HeroQuest. I had that. Blew all of our minds. But he hadn't like really played it too much until we got into it. Okay, let's get spells and skills. So Traeus is going to have spells. Robert Tylan needs the Berserker skills. Of course, those skills are Frenzy, Retaliation, and Enrage. We'll cover those when and if he uses them. They'll make more sense in the context of the game anyway. Paya the monk also gets several. She gets 8 cards. Now she has 4 elemental abilities. But again, we're going to cover this mostly if she uses them, because it's a little bit confusing how it works. So when we actually get to them, it'll be easier to explain. I have struggled since literally episode 1 of this series to find a good way to explain that, and I'm sure I just need to think about it a little harder. But it'll make more sense if we see it happen. And then Valerna also gets some spells. Okay. Let's get our spell pile and start some random spelling. We have here a big old pile of 6 copies each of the 12 HeroQuest spells. Now, regular HeroQuest would have the elf get 3 of these and the wizard get the other 9, but we do it totally randomized so that the heroes can get doubles of spells or even triples of spells. They can get a whole bunch of really useful stuff or a whole bunch of junk. Either way, it has a pretty large effect on how those character classes can interact with the things that they find around them. So I find it to be a little bit more interesting when it's randomized. And these cards, again, are still pretty new, so they're very slippery, which means we are separating them into 4 very messy piles. Almost there. There. Okay. I'm getting faster at explaining that part, but not any faster at dealing those cards. Okay, let's start with Traeus. Now, Traeus has built his skill sets to the point that he gets 9 spells instead of 8, and he also gets to pick one of those spells by name. The rest of them are going to be randomized, and by the looks of it, I guess we have a fair amount of healing going into this quest, but he himself does not have any healing potions, but he is the only one who can disarm traps. So I think his pick one ought to be a healing spell. I think that's what would make the most sense. Let's give him that heal body right there. Justin says, we finished quest 3 of First Light. The book mentioned Ragnar was not there for some reason, and I'm like, I know why. He got himself kidnapped. That's right. Or was he off wooing a certain elf that's going on a quest tonight? Okay, for his 8 random spells, we are going to draw some regular cards. The suit is going to tell us which pile, and the number is going to tell us which card. So this is pile 1, card 2. 1 and 2. That is Tempest. And again, we'll cover these a little bit more detailed, what they do if he uses them, but that one allows him to freeze a monster for a turn. Pile 2, card 2. 1 and 2. Pass Through Rock. Probably won't end up using that, but it does pretty much what it sounds like. Pile number 1, card 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Water of Healing, good, so he's getting a little bit more healing. Pile 2, card 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Ball of Flame is one of the better offensive spells. He also gets pile number 1, card number 1, which is Swift Wind, which allows him to move quicker for a few turns. Also not one that I use too often, but we did use it last night. Pile number 4, card 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is Sleep. Does pretty much what it sounds like, puts a monster to sleep. 2 more for him. Pile 4, card 3. Oops, I'm throwing cards. 1, 2, and 3 is Courage. This came in handy last night for Mordecai the Wizard. Boosts his attack as long as he can see monsters. And his final spell, pile 3, card 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is another Water of Healing. Good, so he is piled up with some healing spells. Okay, and then we also have Valerna over here who gets some as well. Justin says maybe he was admiring from afar, didn't make his move until Keller's Keep, which I'm nowhere near yet. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Valerna only gets 3 spells, but she also has a pick one. Now, she's got a potion of healing. Ooh, I almost forgot about something. Before we get to her, Treyas also has the artifact called the Spell Ring, and what that does is it enables the hero to cast one spell 2 times, not simultaneously. At the beginning of the quest, the wearer must declare which of their spells will be stored in the ring. So this essentially gives him a 10th spell, but the trick is it has to be one of the ones he's already drawn. And of the ones he's got, I think Ball of Flame is probably the best one to give him a double of. Is that this top card by chance? Nope. How about this one? Nope. Let's just search pile 4. Do we have a Ball of Flame in here? Yeah. So we're going to give Treyas an extra Ball of Flame, which is stored in his spell ring, so he can cast that spell a couple of times. Okay, now Valerna has 3 spells. She gets to pick one of those. She's got a potion of healing, so I don't know that she really needs a healing spell. Let's give her a genie. I think that's where we're going to go with her. Yeah, there we go. So for her first pick spell, we're going to give her Genie, which is one of the better offensive spells. And then she gets 2 more at random. Pile 4, card 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is Veil of Mist. Allows her to move through spaces occupied by monsters. And her last one is the pile 1, card 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 is Water of Healing. So she ended up with a healing spell after all. Not a bad loadout. Now she has the Wand of Magic, but that does not give her extra spells. That allows her to cast 2 spells as a single action. Okay, let me clean my area up here just a little bit. Get those spells put up where they're a little bit easier to look at. For the most part, I try to put these in kind of like a vertical pile where I can see all of the names of the spells. I don't like to draw out of the middle of those piles, but it's basically impossible to determine what order we might use the spells in, so it kind of doesn't matter. There we go. Justin says, my friend Brandon is a fantastic Zargon, but when we play the base game quest, I'll have to be Zargon because I'd have an unfair advantage as a player. This is true. Yeah. Yeah, you've seen a lot of those quests several times. You might end up with that, depending on when you guys end up doing that, you might end up like that for a lot of these quests. It's kind of like that for me as well. I've never played this game not as Zargon. But I would, especially with my campaign, even if it's a quest book I have never played, like the later quests in Against the Ogre Horde or Wizards of Morcar, I still edited those quests. Like I have, my quest book is filled with stuff that I made and then printed myself. So I would still kind of have an unfair advantage with that.
He just needs to work on memory loss and then he won't be able to remember it.
Yeah, that's true. If you could get some short-term memory loss there, that would fix that problem. So our entrance room is up here at the top of the quest, but before we actually get started, we need to get our music started and read the quest text. So let's do that. Here's our music going. This is Quest 3, The Warrior Halls. Another great iron door lies before you. Beyond, you will find the Warrior Halls, ancient passageways where all of the great Dwarven warriors were honored. Testimony to their great deeds is carved into the wall so that none may forget their valor. Tread carefully, for these halls were also designed to test the bravest and most cunning of the dwarves. Beware of the traps and deadly opponents as you search for the wooden exit door that leads to safety. And that is what we're doing. So as per usual with Keller's Keep, we are entering through a door and we're just searching for the next door. So we're continuing on through these tunnels until we get to the Emperor's besieged army. We're not quite yet searching for Gren's stone map, so if anybody watched the first quest of the second book, which was the quest where Justin Pollitt was physically here, Mentor also mentioned that Lore Tome revealed to him that there is a stone map which was broken into 4 pieces and scattered among the halls of Baelorn, which we are getting to. We're not looking for those pieces yet, but that might be starting with the next quest. So we're looking for the pieces of the stone map that are going to lead us to Gren's Crag, which leads us to where the Emperor is. Okay, let's get started playing. One more tiny bit of quest setup that I almost always forget nowadays is I need the character cards down here. That won't take but just a second. And use these to help me remember the turn order. Speaking of short-term memory loss. There's Treyas and there's Paya. I've thrown her card on the ground, but I do have it out. There we go. Okay, I've already forgotten the order. Treyas, then Robert Tylan, then Paya, then Valerna. Got it. For now. Okay, so as we pretty much always start with this entrance door here, serving as an open door, we need to go ahead and populate that hallway that they are looking out into before we can do any searches. In this case, there is a wall here, a wall here, 2 more walls here, and also doors. We've got a door right here. Oops. And immediately we're splitting the path because there is also a door right here. There we go. So this is how we are starting tonight's quest. And remember, we are just basically looking to make it through this and find the next door. So we are starting off with Treyas the Wizard, who can search for traps, search for secret doors, or move up to one of those other doors. And he doesn't have any particular proclivity towards any one of those things, so let's just go ahead and roll for it. He is going to search this hallway for secret doors. Now, that's questionable. Treyas, where would a secret door go? We already have doors into the 2 rooms we can see. Maybe that was dumb of me to even include that as an option. Search for traps or move. Those are now his 2 options. He is going to move. Okay, Treyas. He's only moving 5. Which door is he headed for? He's going for the door on the right. 1, 2, and 3. Luckily, none of those squares are trapped. He's going to open the door into this red room, revealing another door and one mountain goblin. Probably not suspicious. I didn't put that guy down very well. I can't see him at all because of the door. There we go. That's still not very good now that I look at it on camera, whatever. Okay, now Atreus could continue his movement, but he can't actually do anything here. So is he going to stop right here, or is he going to go ahead and keep walking into the room? He is going to stop right here. He doesn't have the action to search it, but he's not going to walk in there quite yet. Robert Tylan the Berserker. Search the hallway for traps or move. He is going to be searching for traps. And there are no traps in that tiny little hallway. Now that searching is done, we need to move. There we go. Which door are we going towards? He is going to go with Atreus. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, he has more movement than this. He also prioritizes battle over searching for traps, but we do need to still give him a tiny option to search for traps. So are we stopping and searching for traps, or battle? Those are the options there. And King is redraw. Yeah, he's going for battle. Okay, unfortunately though, right here is a pit trap. Oh, Bob, you've stepped in a pit trap. Does he jump over the pit trap? Yes, indeed he does. But which direction does he jump over the pit trap? Now, I feel like he's likely to jump towards the goblin, but he might be jumping back instead. So let's see, how do we do this? Let's say forward, and then back, left, right. That's how we're doing that. Yeah. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4. That is back. So he is actually going to jump back. That's how the cards had us go. Now, he doesn't have long range. And also because he searched, he couldn't have attacked the goblin even if he got up to it. So either way, there's now a trap in the way. Paya the monk. There is no searching to be done in that hallway, which means we need to move. We're also going to have her go ahead and go the other way towards that blue room. 1, 2, 3, 4. She is going to open the door in this blue room. Let's move the camera ever just so slightly that direction. Revealing another door and one mountain goblin. Seeing any similarities, anyone? Paya, are you going to stop and search for traps? Does she have it? No, she is totally equal here. She is not searching for traps. Now, luckily, she didn't roll very much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right there, she is safe. She also does not have long range, which means she can't attack the goblin, so she might as well do some searching. Is she going to search for traps or secret doors in this room? She is going to search for traps, which is definitely a smart move because there are 3 traps in this room, and they are all falling boulder traps, which are particularly bad news. There's one right there, one right there, and unfortunately for our little skeleton friend right there, one right there. Definitely not something you want to step on because those will hurt and they become impassable walls after they fall. Keep in mind again too that Atreus is the only one on this quest who can disarm traps. Finally, Valerna, the elf, standing back there in the doorway. There she is. Needs to go with Paya, but she also can't do anything about those traps. She could at least shoot at the goblin though, so let's get him, or get her moving. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's unfortunate. She didn't make it far enough. And there's no searching to be done in that hallway, so that is it for the hero's turn. We are now at the monsters. The monsters do not trigger traps, which means this goblin can just walk straight over that with no problem and attack Paya. Mountain Goblin swings its sword at the monk, hitting her with a critical hit of 2. Now she's been building her combat skill, so her defense is not bad, but she only blocks one of those hits. Taking some damage and taking her down to 9 body points. We also have the Mountain Goblin in this room, 1, 2, who is going to attack the Berserker. Mountain Goblin swings its sword at the Berserker, hitting him with a 1. Let's see, Robert's defense is pretty good too, isn't it? Oh, actually, it's not great. Oh, what is that? There we go. Okay, he did block it, but just barely. Okay, I'm gonna take my jacket off real quick. It's getting warm down here. There we go. Okay, back to the beginning. We now have Treyas, who is standing at the top of that red room, and he has some determinations to make because they can't pass the blue room until he disarms those traps, but we also haven't searched this red room for traps yet. Okay, so is he going to search for traps in that room, go fight the goblin in that room, or he could even do that from where he's standing, or go try to disarm one of the traps in the blue room? We've got probably more options than that. Okay, he is actually going to search for traps in that red room first, which is good, because there are also a whole bunch of traps in there. We have the pit trap that Robert revealed by stepping on it, but there are also 2 additional pit traps here and here. So in both rooms, we are presented with some impassable traps, which is not good. So let's go ahead and have him spend his other action firing at... No, is that smart? Because Robert Tylan can hit that goblin. He really should be trying to disarm some traps so that they can get through. Yeah, that needs to be his primary function right now, being that he's the only one who can do it. He needs to get rid of at least 1 trap in each room. 1, 2, 3, and we're not going to have him step on that just yet because he can't disarm till the next turn. We'll leave him there. Robert Tylan the Berserker, however, can go ahead and get rid of that goblin, let's hope. I believe he recently purchased a battle axe, is that correct? Yes, indeed. So he swings his battle axe at the mountain goblin, hitting it with a 1. And it does not block. It is dead. Justin says, my friend who played the wizard got the most kills today with his wizard staff. Awesome. So they must hand that artifact out pretty early in First Light then. That's unusual, playing normal Hero Quest rules for the wizard to be the one taking everybody out. That's pretty neat, though. Okay, what else can Robert do? There's no reason for him to leave this room, so it's either going to be secret doors or treasure. Now, he prefers secret doors, so let's go secret doors, treasure. He is going secret doors, yes, and there are none in that room. Cody says, my wizard kept dying on me today. Yeah, that's what usually happens. The wizard only having 4 body points in the real game is, I mean, just a travesty. How in the world do you keep that guy alive with that few body points? Okay, Paya the monk over here is also in messing around with a goblin. Now, she does not have any weapons, but she's been training up her combat skills, which means her base attack, just her fists, are hitting with 2. So Paya swings a fist at the goblin, hitting it with a 1, but it blocks. Okay, whatever. This leaves her other action to go ahead and search this room for secret doors and find none. Justin says, yeah, I think he got it in the first quest. It was a pretty brutal quest. Well, at least there was a decent reward for it. Cody says that goblin knows Kung Fu. That's exactly right. She tried to karate chop it and the goblin was like, nope. Finally, Valerna the elf is in the hallway up there, and we can get her in there shooting at least. I think we drew her close range. No, she's equal, so it doesn't really matter. So we can just go 1 and 2 and 3. We can get her there in the corner so that she can pull out her short bow and fire at that mountain goblin. But she misses. That goblin knows Kung Fu and it's extremely fast. Wild. It is the monster's turn, which means that goblin can retaliate, swinging its sword at Paya the monk and hitting her with a critical hit of 2. She attempts to defend and defends 1 but not the other. I think that's the second time in a row that's happened. This drops her to 8 body points. But we are now back to Treyas the wizard over here in the red room, who needs to spend this turn attempting to get rid of a pit trap. He steps on it, and we need to roll here. Now, toolkit gives you 50-50 chance, which means if this is a shield, he's good. If it's a skull, he falls in. Good, it's a shield. The heroes have been getting insanely lucky on trap disarms recently, and I probably shouldn't jinx it by saying that, but I have. Okay, that's his 2 actions though. He moved and then disarmed a trap. Luckily, that does allow Robert Tylan to move on past him. Robert likes to search for secret doors. Now, the only thing left to search in here is treasure. So is Robert going to search for treasure or leave? He's going to leave. Yeah, it shouldn't hurt anything. Maybe it's because the... Okay.
Just took it a minute.
Okay, so Robert Tylan's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and he is going to open this door out into the hallway. Let's see what he sees. So obviously we've got this other door. There's a couple more walls here and here. But right at the moment, he can't really see anything else. So he's going to have to walk out there. Now, does he walk out there? Is he going to stop here and search for traps? Yes, he is. Right, and he can actually do that. I couldn't remember there for a second. So he is going to search for traps in this hallway here, which is going to be the following area. Now, when we trap search, we reveal walls, but not doors and not monsters. So we're going to put the walls down just so that we can more easily define the area that we are searching. So there are a couple of walls there, and we are going from this square all the way around to that square. Those are the squares he is searching right now, and there are no traps on those squares. Paya the Monk. Fighting a goblin. She swings a fist at the goblin, hitting it with a 1. This time it does not defend. She finally takes that thing out. Yeah. Okay. Now, does she have any sort of searching? No, she doesn't. Okay. So she might as well search for treasure, although Valerna's in there too, but she can't move because of the boulder traps. So yeah, let's have her search for treasure. Let's see what Paya finds. She finds, after several pulls, you manage to pry a discolored stone from the wall, revealing a small cubby containing a pile of 50 coins. Nice. This puts us up to 380. Justin says, came across an interesting custom goblin called the Snitch. All his stats are 1 except movement 10, and he can open doors to warn the other monsters of the party. Stitches get stitches, says Cody. Yes, absolutely. That's interesting that they did that, because I let monsters do that just anyway. I would let monsters open doors and go wherever they want. Now, I don't often have them do that, but I wouldn't disallow that. Interesting concept for sure. Let's see, that was both of Paya's. So we're now at Valerna. Now, she can't really do anything without stepping on one of these traps, which would be really dumb. But we do know that these 2 rooms lead to the same place now, so there's kind of no reason for them to walk through there or even have Treyas come through there. They might as well just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just head back over to the red room to walk through that space that Treyas made there. Oh yes, and Valerna can actually search for treasure here, because nobody's done it yet. Let's see what Valerna finds in the red room. Suddenly, the stone beneath her feet gives way. She falls into a shallow pit, losing 1 body point. There are just pits all over that. Now, luckily, she's been building her Constitution skill set, so that drops her to 11 points. I should also go ahead and check. Everybody today has been on 6 quests. So if we, that's 48 points, right? So we double that number gives us the skill set points, which means 12, 12, 12, 12, which is 48, which means we are right underneath starting to scale up monster difficulty. I'm gonna have to start remembering that. I gotta check that before we get started, because we're gonna start triggering that. Okay, no monsters on the board, which means we are back to Treyas the Wizard. We're going to end up with Paya a little bit behind the party, but oh, he's not moving fast at all. 1, 2, he can't even move his 3rd space there, which means he can't do anything else, which takes us to the Berserker, who is also standing there in the hallway. Now, he did search that hallway for traps already. So let's move him out and see which direction he wants to go. It would be kind of silly of him to go left there, wouldn't it? Yeah, he is going to continue going this direction. Now, this is the first time he's actually seen down this part of the hallway. He searched it for traps, but now that he's standing here, he can totally see that there is a door leading into the central room right here. Yeah, nothing else right at the moment. Now, he already knows there's no traps here, so he might as well continue his movement. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here, he can also now see down this small side hallway. So let's populate that as well. There is a wall, a door, and 2 skeletons in this hallway. Guy here and a guy here. Okay, we'll go ahead and let him stand here because he does know that there's no traps there. But as far as this, again, Berserker probably going to be running down the hallway at those guys. But let's give him a small chance to search for traps before he does that. So, traps, monsters, monsters. Yes, he is indeed going for the monsters. Let me recount. He only had 5 movement, didn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually, he has to stop there. I should have paid a little closer attention to that. Since he has to stop there and he can't shoot, he might as well search that area for traps. It would be silly for him to just not do anything with his second action. And there is 1 trap down there. Luckily, it's just a spear trap right in front of the skeletons. Exactly the kind of trap set for a Berserker who didn't think to search before running down there. All right, Paya the monk. Let's activate our other camera for her since she's kind of behind everybody else. Paya is in the blue room there. And we are going to have her exit the blue room and go around the long way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Not too bad. This brings us to Valerna the elf, who's also standing right up there. We'll go ahead and get her moving down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which direction is she going to go? She is going to go down there where Robert is. 6, 7, 8, and she can't take her 9th movement because Robert is in the way. That also means she can't do anything about those skeletons that are down there. Yeah, there we go. But she can use her second action to search for secret doors, either in this kind of the hallway surrounding the central room or this tiny hallway. She's got either of those as an option. So let's see, which one is she going to do? She is going to go for the hallway surrounding the central room. Are there secret doors in this hallway? And it looks as though the answer is no. From this square all the way to this square, no secret doors. Monster's turn. We got a couple of skeletons to get moving on down there towards the Berserker. These are regular skeletons, so they should, if I'm right, move 6. So I didn't change that from regular Hero Quest rules. Is that correct? Skeletons move 6, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The skeleton swings its scythe at the Berserker, but misses. Because Robert is an awfully agile fellow. Okay, that takes us back to Atreus, who is just barely on camera right at the top there. Now we got 2 heroes coming down this way, so we might as well send him the other way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's, do we need to switch camera? No, we can kind of see what's going on here. There is also a door into the central room on this side. This quest is interesting. It's almost a mirror image on each side. What did I say, 8? Where was he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Oh, yeah, no, I know what I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. 9, 10. So the end of his movement allows him to pretty perfectly get into an area where he can see down this small hallway. And just as with the other side, we have a wall, a door, and 2 skeletons. Nice, we even got one of each mini, just like before. Okay, now, Atreus again would be silly not to go ahead and search that area for traps because he is within range to search for either traps or secret doors, traps being the more kind of prevalent thing there. So he is going to search that hallway for traps, although in a weird twist of not mirroring, there are no traps in that hallway. Robert Tylen the Berserker, right over here, right face to face with the skeleton. He swings his battle axe at the skeleton, hitting it with a 2, which it does not defend. Dead immediately. Okay, now what is he going to do with his other action? I mean, he could walk up there, or we could just leave that for Valerna. That would probably be smarter. So it would actually be smarter for him to either search the hallway for secret doors, the one that he's looking down in, or he could go ahead and open this door and search this room for something. Probably traps would be the smart thing to do. Let's go ahead and card this. So is he going to do secret doors in the hallway or open this door and do some sort of searching there? Okay, that sounds like a berserker. There's a monster coming at him, but he's like, what's in this door? He's going to open the central door here. And in our central room, we find a training room for the Dwarven warriors, something that Mentor mentioned in the quest text at the beginning. In this room are 4 magical suits of armor, modeled to look like Chaos Warriors, because those were the big threat back when these halls were actually in use. They look like Chaos Warriors, they aren't, but for all intents and purposes, they are. They're magical suits of armor that act exactly as Chaos Warriors. 1 in each corner. All right, Robert. With 1 action left, is he moving in here or searching for traps? Now again, being a berserker, I'd say that we should double weight him going ahead and using this action as a movement into this room. So, traps, monsters, monsters. Yes, he's going for monsters. Okay, which monster is he going for? Because that is important. If he's not going to search for traps, hint, hint, he's got plenty of movement to get to any one of these monsters. So let's go ahead and do the 4 suits. Hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades. Clubs, he's going for the furthest one from him. Okay, so which path is he going to take? Because again, it kind of matters. If he's taking the most direct path, we know 1. And that's fine, but which direction is he going? Because I'd say a player might go here or here. Okay, he's going here, and there is a spear trap there. Let's see if he jumps it. He does not. It hits him, costing him 1 body point. Again, he's also been building Constitution, so this only drops him to 11, and it does stop his movement right there. Bohemia says, if they quack like Chaos Warriors. Yes. Do Chaos Warriors quack? I guess they do. That's how the dwarves enchanted them. They actually enchanted ducks and enclosed them in Chaos Warrior armor. So these are some evil ducks right here that, that Robert has to fight. Okay, Paya the monk is where we're at, and she is up in the red room, up in there. So let's get her moving. She is going to be going with Atreus. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but she is doing so extremely slowly. Coming back down here, we are now at Valerna the elf, and it kind of makes the most sense for her to be attacking this skeleton. And she attacks better close range than long range now, so we might as well get her close range anytime we can. We don't need to roll for that movement I just made because she's guaranteed at least 2. She swings her brand new battle axe at the skeleton, hitting it with a 3, which for a skeleton is indeed a skilled strike, making this skeleton super dead. Or since it was a skeleton, is that double dead? I don't know. And that's going to conclude her turn. This takes us to the monster's turn. We definitely have a dangerous monster's turn going on right here. Now we are already pointing at the more exciting part. Let's take care of the boring part first. So over here we have 2 skeletons that are going to be heading their way up towards Atreus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We have just enough squares for that skeleton to get there. We'll go ahead and move the skeleton up here because we know it'll get there. The skeleton swings its scythe at Atreus. but misses him.
Lame.
That was the boring part. Let's get back to the more interesting part. This situation right here is going to be bad news. Because Robert could get totally surrounded, but he's also left the door open, meaning that one of these guys can actually go for Valerna. Now, these guys could also open the door here, but they wouldn't be able to get to Treyas, so that doesn't actually help them. So let's send a guy after Valerna first. 1, 2, 3. The magical suit of armor swings its axe at Valerna. Only hitting her with a 1. That's kind of a pathetic roll. What's her defense looking like? She doesn't even have that good a defense. She blocks it, but just barely. Now, Robert Tylan is about to be in a bad situation. The first magical suit of armor swings its axe at him, hitting him with a 4. That was only the first hit. He blocks 2, taking 2, dropping him to 9 body points. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The second magical suit of armor attacks him, hitting him with 3. He blocks 1 and takes 2, drops him to 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The final magical suit of armor attacks him with its axe, hitting him with 2. He blocks 1 and takes the other one, leaving him with 6 remaining body points. That was just about half his health gone in a single turn. Running into the room, not always the smart option. And we have to assume that somewhere in there, several of them were quacking, which Robert did not understand and found kind of strange. Yes. Okay, we are at Treyas the Wizard, who is on camera already. Let's go ahead. Well, let's switch cameras just so that we're a little closer to him. Here we go. Okay, Treyas. Show us how it's done. Get rid of one of these skeletons. What's he swinging with? He's just got a staff. Yes, indeed. Treyas swings his wooden staff at the skeleton, hitting it with a 1. It does not defend. That's the way you do it. You might be a wizard, you might not have very good attack, but you still manage. Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and scoot him up another one here. This also allows him to turn around and open that door if Robert Tylan needs help, which he might. All right, speaking of Robert Tylan, it is his turn. What in the world is he going to do right here? What are his options? He does have a potion of healing, which may not be a terrible idea. He pretty desperately needs to get rid of at least one of these guys. Yeah, okay. Now his frenzy skill would come in handy here because it would allow him to make an attack against all 3 of these guys as a single action, but he has to be down to 3 or less body points in order to activate that. So we're a little while away from that. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and use his enrage skill. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. I desperately got to remember this. Enrage allows him to make an additional attack even if he's already attacked. So first, let's just have him attack. Just a regular old attack, and he is going to go for the guy that is down here, right here. We got to get him looking at him. There we go. Robert swings his battle axe at the enchanted suit of armor. Ugh, only hitting it with a 1. But it doesn't block. At least there's that. Then he's going to go ahead and use his enrage skill, which looks like this. As an action, you may lose up to 2 body points to immediately make an attack, even if you have already attacked this turn. Add additional attack dice equal to the number of body points you lose. So we're going to go ahead and give him the max loss. This is going to drop him to 4 body points, but it gives him 2 extra attack dice so that he can hopefully get rid of this guy. Justin says, get him, Bobby. Yes. So 6 attack dice on that same enchanted suit of duck armor. Hitting it with a 4. That's the way to go. The armor defends 1, still takes 3 body points, and is gone. He actually could have one-shot one of those guys with that. And one more. Oh, maybe we're back. Hey, we're back. Okay, I have no idea what happened there.
Maybe it was not from him. Ripped it out or something.
Okay, just make sure that it's not just gonna happen again before we just kind of drop right back into it. Looks like it kicked everybody. I hope everybody comes back. Round 2 fight. Go hands back. Okay, it's showing 0 viewers, but I'm guessing you guys are still here. Hopefully we're back. Something happened with OBS there. OBS just like dropped signal and just stopped. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. What were we doing? We were trying to determine what Robert was gonna search. I believe he ended up searching secret doors. I think that's what we drew there. We'll go with that. Sheesh. Okay, Robert Island's gonna search that central room for secret doors and find none. That is unfortunate because that room is filled with traps which they need to find before they step on them. And go ahead and says secret doors. Yes, okay, good. We're still showing 5 viewers, so I'm glad everybody stuck around during that. No clue what happened, but it seems to be fixed. Fingers crossed it doesn't happen again. Okie dokie, Paya the monk is where we're at. She's just barely on camera, right up there at the top. Let's get her moving. Now she's supposed to be following Treyas, but to be honest, it would actually be very helpful for her to come down here and help with this very difficult fight that we have found ourselves in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and do that so she can try and get rid of this. She is going to use her Strength of the Mountain skill. This is the element of earth. Now each of her elements have 2 cards, and when she uses one, it uses up both. Strength of the Mountain allows her to roll 2 additional attack dice on an unarmed attack. Using this element does not count as an action. The attack will, but using that element does not. She swings a fist with the Strength of the Mountain at the magical suit of armor, hitting it with a 3. Which, rather handily, destroys that poor duck immediately. Justin says, yay, we are back. That's never happened before. Welcome back, Cotter. Savannah had her phone plugged into the computer. I don't know if maybe that messed up something, but I don't see why it would have. She unplugged it and it came back. So I don't know. Maybe it was that. We'll hope it was something that simple. Okay, and that takes us to Valerna, who is standing right there. Now again, she probably ought to be trying to help Robert Tylan with what's going on in there. Right, yeah, this is a pretty nasty fight. They're kind of getting lucky, and they're gonna run out of stuff like that pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and let her move 1 and 2 into this room. We already know that square is not trapped. What's her combat type? Equal. So she could cast Genie here. Let's go ahead and roll this. Is she gonna use her short bow to attack? She would actually be better close range. She does have enough movement. Okay, let's roll this because they haven't searched for traps in here. Is she gonna go close range with a battle axe, go long range with her short bow, or long range with a Genie spell? She's gonna do the Genie spell. Okay, a Genie appears in front of Valerna. She directs it at the magical suit of armor standing right there, and it attacks. This thing attacks pretty hard, hitting the magical suit of armor with a 3. The armor does not defend. Man, they're getting lucky. This is a difficult fight that they are somehow just absolutely crushing. Okay, that does bring us to the monster's turn, and we have a couple of monsters, not near as bad as the last monster's turn, but we have a couple of things here to do, both of which are on camera. Let's take care of the skeleton first. The skeleton swings its scythe at Atreus the wizard, hitting him with a 1. What kind of defense does he have? Oh yeah. He blocks, but just barely. And finally, the magical suit of armor attacks Robert, hitting him with a 1. Okay. But he doesn't block it, so he does take that damage. This drops him to 7. That magical suit of armor was clearly just a little bit... it was like, oh, you just killed all my buddies. What do I do? Gohan says, isn't armor itself defense? Yeah, you'd think it would. It would be. Somehow, the hit was too hard. It didn't matter. Okay, back to the front here with Atreus. We'll switch cameras even though he's technically on camera over there. Atreus, let's see if we can get rid of this skeleton. The middle room is now not very much of a threat. Atreus hits the skeleton with a 1, which it does not defend. Okay, he does know that there's no traps down that hallway, so it's not a big deal for him to go ahead and travel down. Is he going to search for secret doors or move? He's going to search for secret doors with his second action, and down this hallway, from his position to this wall, there are no secret doors. Robert Tylan. Why do I always say his last name? I don't say anybody else's last name over and over and over.
It just feels right.
It's one of those things that feels right for some reason. Unless we're calling him Bob, like Justin does. It just feels right to say Robert Tylan for some reason. We got one more suit of armor to get rid of. This thing is not damaged. So let's see, it is possible for him to one-shot this, but he's not Gramina, so that's not how it's going to work. Robert Tylan swings his battle axe at the suit of armor, hitting it with a 2. And it blocks both. See, I told you he wasn't Gramina. Blocks both like nothing happened. Okay, second action. Robert searches this room for traps, which is a good thing because there are a whole bunch. Now, he stepped on one, but in addition to the one that he stepped on, there is a pit trap here, a pit trap here. Now, he stepped on a spear trap, but there are still 3 other ones in this room. Did I say pit trap? He stepped on a spear trap. Okay, maybe. So there's a spear trap here, a spear trap here, and a spear trap here. So luckily, because all of those suits of armor came and attacked him, they've avoided needing to step on pretty much all of those. But it's still good to know. Justin says it's the respect he commands. That's right. You say the full name when you command that kind of respect. Okay. That is his action. So we are now at Paya the monk, who is right over here. Now she is supposed to be over there with Treyas. I don't think she's needed in this battle, but it seems kind of silly to send her over there when she could just go ahead and go down this hallway. Maybe we'll kind of switch up the teams just because of what we've done here, and we'll send her down this way. Now she doesn't have a toolkit to get rid of that spear trap, but jumping a spear trap is the same odds as trying to disarm it anyway, so I don't really think it's a big deal. Actually, she also has a thing that allows her to jump over a trap. Maybe that's what we ought to be doing with her. Although she's got plenty of body points left, doesn't she? Yeah, it's actually not even really that big of a deal. We should use that for a worse trap. She has an element that would allow her to pass that trap without triggering it, but a spear trap doesn't feel like that big a deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does she jump over it? No, she doesn't. That's unfortunate. The spear trap triggers and hits her unexpectedly, dropping her to 7 body points and stopping her movement right there. However, triggering a spear trap does get rid of it. So at least there's that. Okay, and finally, Valerna the elf, who is still on camera here and helping Robert with this battle. Now, she also could risk a spear trap, and she's got plenty of body points. So let's go ahead and roll this. Does she have a combat type? Not really. Is she going to... Ooh, no, you know what? She doesn't even have to step on the spear trap. She gets a good roll. No, she didn't. Is she going to step on the spear trap and possibly take damage for the sake of being able to hit that suit of armor a little harder, or is she going to shoot from her current position? She's going to shoot from her current position. She puts an arrow in her short bow and fires at the suit of armor and misses. Okay, that was a whole lot of deliberation for nothing. Justin says, it's like in the show Boondocks, the character named a pimp named Slickback. Yes, you have to say the whole thing. Yes, every time. Absolutely. That's great. The name is a pimp named Slickback. That's great. Yeah. Okay, Valerna, there is nothing else that she can do. No, I lied. There is a weird thing she can do. She can actually search this hallway that Paya's in for secret doors because she is adjacent to it. There aren't any, but let's go ahead and use up her second action smartly, which is a kind of dumb thing to say because smartly's not a word. Monster's turn. The suit of armor attacks the berserker, swinging its axe and quacking for some reason, hitting him with a 4. He defends 2, but takes 2. This drops him to 5 points and triggers his retaliation skill, even though it's not his turn. The skill can be used if you have 5 or fewer body points. You may use the skill immediately after you have taken damage from an adjacent monster. Immediately make an attack against that monster. This does not use up an action on your next turn. In retaliation for the particularly damaging hit, Robert swings his axe, hitting the suit of armor with a 3. It blocks 1 and takes 2, which means it's not gone, but it is severely damaged. Those berserker things coming in handy there. All right, we are now at Treyas the wizard, who is just barely on camera there. There he is. He is going to start making his way down to this other door. He got a pretty good roll there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. He's going to go ahead and open this door. Justin says he was voiced by the comedian Cat Williams. It was great. Oh, I bet that was. There is in this room another door. And also a swamp goblin. Here we go. Swamp monsters are mostly blind, but it doesn't really affect their movement. They're not completely blind. They attack very hard, but they have a little bit worse defense. Now, goblins only have 1 defense to begin with, so how we're going to work this is they still have 1 defense, but as we start scaling the monsters up, we're going to subtract 1 from whatever that scaling would be. Either way, Atreus has a pretty good chance of getting rid of this guy. Okay, but is he going to stop and search for traps before he bounds into that room? No, he is not. He is actually going to go in there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, apparently not. Luckily, that square is not trapped. Atreus swings his wooden staff at the swamp goblin and misses. Whoops. Back over here, Robert Tylen is continuing to fight the suit of armor. It is down to 1 body point, but it is not dead yet. Can he get rid of that last point? He swings his battle axe, hitting it with a 2. That's a pretty good hit. Oops. It does not defend. Good, they took out what was arguably the hardest room in the quest, and honestly, it wasn't that bad. That could have been way, 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 way worse. Second action, it's probably going to be searching for treasure, but Valerna's in there too. Okay, we'll just card it. Is he going to search for treasure or leave? He is going to search for treasure. Let's see what Robert finds. Nothing special in this room. He finds a potion of healing. Okay. He could use that. Actually, I forgot to erase the last one off his character sheet, so we'll just leave that on there. I can't believe there are still potions in that deck. That's blowing my mind. I really figured we had all the potions by now. Okay, that is both of his actions, so we are now at Paya the monk, who is headed down towards this door. She's got a pretty good roll there, 1 and 2. She opens the door into this yellow room and discovers, probably to nobody's surprise, another door and a swamp goblin. This one's placed a little bit differently. Now again, she doesn't have long range. She also doesn't have any sort of specific thing for searching. So is she going to stop and search for traps or go ahead and move into the room? She is going to stop and search for traps. Okay, there is a trap in this room, and it was a good thing she searched for it because she absolutely would have stepped on it. There is a falling boulder trap right in front of her face, which if she had triggered would have not only hurt her pretty bad, but trapped her in that room away from everybody. Okay, so now we know where we can use her soaring dragon to let her get past that trap without triggering it. That'll be handy. Okay, that takes us to Valerna the elf, who is back here in the central room. Now we need to kind of re-roll our parties, so we know that Atreus has gone off to the left and that Paya has gone off to the right. These two are going to split up and go some direction. Valerna, there's no searching left to be done in this room. Is she going to go with Atreus or with Paya? She is actually going to go with Atreus. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opening this door. 6, 7, 8. We moved her just about off camera there. No further searching to be done in that hallway that she is standing in fairly near to Atreus, so that is it for her. That takes us to the monster's turn, which is going to be this swamp goblin right here attacking Atreus. Now again, swamp monsters have higher attack. So the swamp monster swings its sword wildly at the wizard, hitting him with a 2. He blocks 1, but not the other. It's actually the first damage he's taken. This takes him down to 10 body points. Over on the other side of the map, we also have a swamp goblin attacking a hero. Now, swamp monsters don't have any sort of detriment to their speed. So this guy gets pretty quickly right up to her and swings its sword wildly at Paya, hitting her with a 1, which she blocks. Definitely could have been worse. Back over here, we are now at the hero's turn, and we are at Atreus. It's too bad he didn't end up with a Fire of Wrath. That would have been perfect for getting rid of this guy. Everything else feels like overkill at the moment. Let's see if we can get rid of him with the staff. Atreus swings his wooden staff at the goblin and hits it with a 1, which it does not defend. Good. Got a lot of monsters in these drawers. There we go. Okay, Trace, we haven't searched this room for anything, so second action. Traps, secret doors, treasure, or leave. He's going for treasure. What does Trace find in this room? He finds himself drawn to a strange idol. Didn't we just have one of these last night? These are pretty rare. He realizes that he is reaching for it even though sudden pain grows as he gets closer. Roll a movement dice for each of his mind points. If he rolls a 6, he manages to stop himself from touching it. If he does not roll a 6, he loses 2 body points. Now he's a wizard, so he's pretty smart. He's got 6 mind points, so there's a pretty high chance that he is going to successfully stop himself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's see. Okay, he got a 6, but only 1 out of 6 dice. That's still kind of a scarily small chance. He managed to stop himself from touching the dread idol. Okay, Robert Tylan the Berserker is next. Still standing in the central room, but there's nothing left to search. He needs to come over here with Paya, although he is going to have no way of getting past that trap. Paya can get past it, but he can't. The only person who even possibly could go with her over there effectively is Trace, if he manages to get rid of that trap. So we're going to have to flip-flop them. That's annoying. But that is strategically the smartest thing to do. There's no reason to let him step on that trap. So let's send him this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he can't take his 7th movement there because the elf is in the way. Neither camera shows it. There we go. Okay, it is now Paya's turn. So we need to try and get rid of this goblin here real fast. She throws a punch at the swamp goblin, hitting it with a 1. It does not block, which takes out. She is then going to use her Soaring Dragon skill, which is the element of air. So again, just like with the rock, she has 2 cards that are associated with the element of air. Using this one is going to take them both out. Use this element to jump over any one trap without rolling to jump or spring the trap. This does not count as an action. Which means we can just move her right on past that like it's not even there. 1, 2, 3, and we'll go ahead and stop her there because we need to determine what she's going to do. Now, at the moment, she might be the only one who can go in this room, which means she needs to search it for secret doors and treasure. So we're not going to have her opening the door yet, but she's used both of her actions, attacking and moving. So let's come back over here to Valerna the elf, who is right here. Gonna get her moving over into that room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, they still don't know that there's traps. Let's stop her right there, which is 5. Is she going to search for traps? Yes, she is. There are actually no traps in that yellow room. All right, no monsters on the board, so that takes us back to Trace, who is standing right here. He needs to move out of there. We need to get him back going. Now, before he leaves, we can go ahead and have him search for the last of the stuff in this room, which is secret doors, because we know he's not going to roll enough to get all the way back over there. I guess we could swift wind it. That would have been smart. Well, we've already done the secret door search. There is one, and that opens up this right here. So into that tiny little bluish room right there, and in that room is a weapons rack. Just like that. Justin says, I let my elf player use the elf spells from Mage of the Mirror. I didn't read the rules for it and told him to just pick 3. Whoops. Yeah, to be honest, I don't even remember how those function. I remember what some of them are, but I don't remember how they function because I've allocated those to the rogue class, which we don't have yet in this campaign. We'll be running into them in Mage of the Mirror. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and get Trace moving back towards the other room. That dice just didn't land. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So he is headed back there, saying hello to Bob there. And it is indeed Robert's turn. So he's headed the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not much he can do like that, though. Back over here with Paya in the yellow room, just in case she ends up being the only one. Well, we're sending Treyas over there, so either way he is going to go in that room. So I guess we don't need to search, or we don't need to force her to search for anything. So is she going to do secret doors, treasure, or leave? She is doing secret doors in this room, and there are none. Second action, treasure or leave. She's doing treasure, so she's just getting the searches out. Let's see what she finds. Paya finds a loose stone and tears it from the wall. Behind it, she discovers a small leather pouch wrapped in an old rag. Peering inside, she finds 25 gold coins. Not bad. That's going to put us up to 405 coins. And that was both of her actions, so no movement. We are now at Valerna the Elf. This room has already been fully searched. So what we need to draw for her is she going to go into this small room to check out what's over here, or is she going to go open this door? And she's going to go for the door. So she's going to leave that for Robert to go into that small room. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Opening the door into the blue room, she finds... There we go. Another door. Let's see. 2 zombies. Both of these are interesting zombies. So we've got another adventurous paint job by me. Adventurous meaning terrible. And the Spirit Queen's Torment zombie there. Kind of see-through, fancy zombie. These are both just regular zombies, despite one being painted terribly and the other being an interesting print. Also in this room is 2 deep skeletons. Deep monsters have spent a lot of time in the deepest tunnels of the entire world. They are completely blind, but if you're going to survive down there, you got to be able to hit hard. So they're very slow, but they've got higher attack. So Valerna has definitely opened herself up to some bad stuff. Now, is she going to stop there and search for traps, or is she going to go ahead and jump in there and start fighting? She's going to stop and search for traps. No traps in this blue room, Valerna. And it is indeed the monster's turn, and that means one of these 4 guys is going to come up and fight her. It's going to be this zombie. And again, this is just a regular zombie. Bohemia says, yes, it is just pick 3. Okay, in reference to the elf spells. In the draft of Mage of the Mirror, the spells were 9 divided in 3 different schools: illusion, time, and nature. Too bad they didn't keep it that way. Yeah, that would have been really neat. I wonder why they didn't. They definitely should have done that. Spells of illusion, spells of time, and spells of nature. Man, yeah, they should have kept that. The zombie swings its cleaver at Valerna, but misses. Yeah, no kidding. Definitely lame. Okay, back to the front of the party. We are now at Treyas the Wizard, who might as well speed up getting over to the other side of the map, which means he is going to use his Swift Wind spell. The spell may be cast on any one hero in your line of sight, including yourself. This powerful burst of an energy allows... Oh, that's kind of a dumb wording. I need to make a note of that. Allows the targeted hero to roll double the amount of movement dice for their next 3 movements. So the first of his quick movements is... Actually, you know what? I've got more of those little dice. I was about to roll the big Avalon Hill dice, but I've got more Milton Bradley dice. Let's use that. There we go. That is a whole bunch of stuff right there. 14 he's moving. 1, we're going to need to try and keep him on camera here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Gosh, I almost made a stupid counting error again. The short where I counted 11, 12, 15 is still our best performing short. Maybe I should have just let it happen. Bohemia says, yes, because pick 3 is slightly unbalanced because every elf just picks the strongest. Yeah, 100%. That's something that we ought to keep in mind, because again, like I've modified just about every part of that. That is something we could apply to the elf spells. Although in mine, again, they're kind of randomly allocated in the rogue class. But that would be a neat thing to consider, because that makes way more sense than just allowing them to do whatever. Okay, Atreus can't do anything else. He's already done everything he can do with his turn right at the moment. So we are going back to Robert Tylan the Berserker, who is getting ready to enter this yellow room here. Now, she did leave him to go into this small room, and right at the moment she's got this thing handled. So let's let him go in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is he going to stop and search for traps? Yes, he is. There are no traps in that room. Bohemia says the missing spell transformed the elf into a giant wolf. That would have been neat too. I mean, we've got the whole werewolf transformation in that book, but to do it as kind of a smarter thing would have been neat. Okay, that takes us to Paya. We're doing a whole bunch of camera switching here. Paya is in this room, and it has been totally searched, so she might as well be opening that door into the green room. 1. In the green room, she finds another door. A skeleton. Right here. Also a deep skeleton. We want, yeah, I'm gonna make sure this is in Avalon Hill, guys, so that we remember that that's a weird one. And 2 mummies. Somebody's got a weird thing about mummies in this quest. Is it Paya? Atreus has a vendetta against mummies, so we know if he makes it down there that he's going to be going straight for them. Okay. Oh, okay, and it's Valerna that has a fear of mummies, and she's clear on the other side of the map, so we don't have to worry about that. But if Atreus gets in there and he is kind of on his way, then we know that he is going to be targeting the mummies before he targets the skeletons. Okay, now, Paya has not really done anything yet other than make that one movement. How's she on whether or not she searches for traps? It's totally random. Is she going to search for traps or just start blasting? That one. She's going into the room and she is going to try and knock these guys out. Now, it's too bad she used the element of air, because her other air element would allow her to make a sweeping attack that would have hit this mummy and both these skeletons as a single action. And that would have been nice. She does have a heroic brew, which would allow her to attack twice. I would say that's probably a good usage of that right at the moment. So Paya is going to drink a heroic brew, which allows her to make 2 attacks as a single action. Make sure I erase that off her paper. Her first attack is going to be against this skeleton right here. She swings a fist at the skeleton, hitting it with a 1. But it blocks. Dang. And with her second action, she is going to take a swing at this mummy, hitting it with a 1. Which it doesn't block. It doesn't kill it, but it does damage it. Maybe not the best ever usage of a heroic brew, but could have been worse. Okay, that takes us to Valerna the elf on the other side of the map, who is in combat with a room full of undead of her own. There we go. Let's see if she can get rid of this zombie that is right in her face. She swings her battle axe, hitting the zombie with a 3. It does not block, meaning it is totally out of there. There we go. What else is she going to do? She likes to search for treasure, but she can't do that yet. She knows there's no traps in there, but it would still be kind of foolish to walk in there. What's her spells? Veil of Mist isn't really going to help her. She's not damaged enough for Wand of Healing, or Water of Healing, to do anything. I looked at the Wand of Magic card right when I started talking. Okay, so yeah, honestly, it kind of seems like her best action is to search for secret doors from her current position in the blue room. Yeah, she's gonna do that. There are no secret doors in that blue room. That takes us to the monster's turn. We're already pointing at Valerna, so let's go ahead and figure out which one of these monsters is coming for her. It's actually gonna be this deep skeleton right here. The deep skeleton swings its scythe wildly at the elf, hitting her with a 2. She blocks both. Very nice. I'm going to shuffle my randomizer deck here just a moment. Please forgive the big noise. There we go. And we are back to Treyas the Wizard, who is up in the other corner here, headed down towards that trap. Now, he's still got a swift wind, but unfortunately on this turn it's going to be wasted because he only needs to move 3, which he's, with swift wind, he's guaranteed at least 4. 1, 2, 3, so we know he can get there. So let's see if he triggers this trap or not. Oh, that is unfortunate. He does actually trigger this falling boulder trap. This means that he needs to roll 3 combat dice. He only takes 1 body point of damage, which is handy. That could have been way worse. This trap also forces him forward 1 square and becomes a wall, theoretically trapping them. This Cody says I'm awake again. You drifted off there, did you? Yes, okay, so Treyas just got hit by a trap which caused a wall right there, which means they can't get back through there. Although Treyas does have a pass-through rock, so he's not quite as stuck as it kind of seems. That is going to... Oh my gosh, I didn't do the monsters on this side of the map. Okay, let's do that, because that's totally not fair, and she might get really hurt by this. So we can't just skip that. We'll come back to Treyas there. First off, regular skeleton. Swings its scythe at Paya, hitting her with a 1. She blocks. Next, the mummy swings a fist at the monk, hitting her with a 2. She blocks 1 and takes the other one. Finally, which of those other monsters is going to come up to attack her? It's going to be the deep skeleton. Deep skeleton swings its scythe at the monk, hitting her with a 2. She does not block either hit. She clearly was not ready for that. That drops her to 4, so she is getting low. Justin says, I should find somewhere to hide and nap. Yeah, absolutely. I've said it a million times, I do not know how you do that swing shift thing, man. That would utterly destroy me. Okay, now back to the hero's turn. We've already done Treyas's movement. His turn is over because he triggered that trap. Actually, he did both of his actions because he moved and then tried to disarm a trap. So we are now at Robert Tylan the Berserker, who is over here on the other side of the map, exploring this tiny room. He knows there's no traps in there, so is he going to search for secret doors or move in there and search for treasure? Doing the second one, so 1, and he is going to treasure search. Let's see what he finds in there. This is the secret armory of the dwarves that dwelt here. The first hero to search for treasure in this room will find 2 magical throwing daggers. Very nice. This is an artifact that is specific to Keller's Keep. These things always inflict 1 body point of damage when thrown at any monster within the hero's line of sight. The monster may not defend, but the dagger is lost once it is thrown. So he's just found 2 of these, which we'll put in his inventory. We'll just say MTD, magical throwing daggers times 2. Might come in handy against a boss monster that they're just trying to get the last little bit of health knocked off of. Justin says, it's the only third shift week. Oh, it's only the third shift week that sucks, but I typically only sleep 4 hours anyway. That, and in that you are lucky. I wish I could get away with sleeping that little. I'd be a wreck. Okay, that was Robert Tylan, so we are back over to Paya, who is now in some pretty bad trouble, and her elements aren't going to help her right at the moment. but her twisting torrent allows her to ignore damage. What is Tidal Surge again? Oh yeah, move a little bit, do another action, finish your move. So that's also not going to help her right at the moment. Let's start her turn by letting her drink the potion of healing that she has in her inventory, because she's getting really low on health. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This brings her back up to 8 body points, which is a much more manageable amount when she's in the situation she's in. She also, now we could draw for which monster she should hit, but strategically speaking, the deep skeleton is far and away the one she should get rid of. It hits the hardest and it's the easiest to kill. Now, yeah, that's totally sound. So she throws a punch at the deep skeleton, hitting it with 1, which it blocks. Darn. Okay, she actually hasn't searched anything in this room yet, so we should consider getting her out of there. Yeah, although Treyas does do better long range. He's got that courage spell, but he could cast that on her. Okay, let's leave her there and search. Is she going to search for traps or secret doors? She's going to do traps. And there are actually no traps in that green room. Justin says, oh, I'm definitely a wreck. Cody says, I usually get about 4 to 5 hours of sleep except for weekends when my old lady is off work, which is only 1 weekend a month. I live on nicotine and caffeine. Yeah, I live on caffeine, that is for sure. I've been trying to cut way back on that recently, and it's been working, but I have also been just a jerk. Because getting off of caffeine is not a simple addiction, that's for sure. But as Cody can attest, for most of my life, I have drank just pop. No water, no juice, just pop. So getting off caffeine has been not an easy task. I'm down to almost none a day, though, which is good. Okie dokie, moving back over here to Valerna the elf. There we are. Let's get a little closer to this. This is the camera that doesn't like staying down. So I push it down and it pops back up, but that's a little closer there. What else does she have? Veil of Mist and Water of Healing. She's not low enough on health for that Water of Healing to be doing her any good. So let's just keep her attacking. Now she's got a deep skeleton right there in her face, but she has some pretty good attack damage here. She swings her battle axe at the deep skeleton, hitting it with a 1. Which it does not defend. That's good. And now that there's only 2 monsters in there, and neither of them are particularly bad, I think it's safe to go ahead and move her in there. She knows there's no traps, so let's just go ahead and get her right in the action. Cody says, I'm using less caffeine. With all my health issues, my doctor yelled at me for that, among other things. I drink like a soda a week. That's definitely impressive. I'm down to like 1 a day-ish, but I'm not being too careful about it as long as I don't go overboard. Drinking a lot more actual bottled water, which is, I really dislike the taste of water. I know a lot of people say water doesn't taste like anything, but I taste something and I don't like it. So it's torture, but it's good. As I get older, my health is more important now. I could shake it off when I was young. All right, monster's turn. Let's not forget the monsters pointed at Paya this time. So we got both of these monsters hitting Valerna, but she's got plenty of health and healing, so we're not too worried about this. Let's start with the zombie. The zombie swings its dagger at the elf, hitting her with a 1. She does not defend. This brings her down to 10 body points. Like I said, plenty of health. And then she also has this deep skeleton swinging its scythe, hitting her with a 1, which she also does not block. Only brings her down to 9 though, not a big deal. Justin says, I bet if I cut back and was more active, I'd sleep more. I'm trapped in this cycle of either not having time to sleep or my body doesn't allow it. Yeah, I bet the swing shift definitely causes that. Your body just has no idea when to sleep. Cody says, 24-pack of soda was nothing back in the day. I need more Mountain Dew. Yes. Oh, the songs. The good old songs. Some of which were funny, and some, like Mountain Dew, a little less funny and should be buried. The only thing funny about the song Mountain Dew that you and I made was the two of us genuinely going to get a Diet Dr. Pepper and spending the last half of the song recording ourselves into the microphones, passing this Diet Dr. Pepper back and forth and talking about how gross it was. Yeah, it was weird. All right, we're still in Monster's turn here, and Paya is still completely surrounded. Now let's remember, she's got that twisting torrent that will allow her to ignore damage if one of these guys hits her really bad. So let's start with the easy guy, the regular skeleton, swinging its scythe at her, hitting her with a 1. Now she's got really good defense, so she's got no excuse. She blocks it, but just barely. Next, the deep skeleton swings its scythe, but misses. Okay, this is going well for her. And finally, the mummy swings a fist, hitting her with 1. The monsters were going easy on her this turn, which she blocks, but again, just barely. Bohemia says, they are addicted to taste. Water is just like a medicine. You drink it not to die, no matter the taste. Yeah, that is an excellent way to think of that. Bohemians, thank you for that line of thought, because I am going to remember that. The good news is when I let myself drink water, which again has been a lot more recently, I drink a lot of it because I'm just trying to get through the bottle, so I tend to drink a lot of it rather than taking small drinks like I would with a pop. Cody said, when I lived in Huber Heights, the water was horrendous. I bought a Brita filter. Oh yeah, I'm definitely not drinking it out of the tap. I don't mind the great value Walmart water that you can get in like a 40 pack. And I'm weird. I like it room temperature better than I like it cold. I don't know why, but I do. Treus, up in that room. Yeah, let's just, we're actually, again, we're gonna waste the last of his Swift Wind. But that very first movement of it was really useful, so it wasn't totally a waste. We'll just move him 2 up into the action, and let's get him spell casting, because he's got a whole ton of spells. First off, now he's got some spells that can help Ball of Flame and things like that, but let's have him cast Courage on Paya. Oh, showing the wrong camera. Here we go. This spell may be cast on any one hero in your line of sight, including yourself. This spell grants the targeted hero 2 extra attack dice. The spell is broken the moment the targeted hero can no longer see any monsters. So this will boost Paya's attack pretty much until all the monsters in this room are dead. And then Treus will be able to focus on his next turn on casting Ball of Flame and such. Cody says, I drink way too much water to buy it. Yeah, that makes sense. I drink so much water, I got put on a water pill. We calculated about 3 gallons a day. Good Lord. Justin says same. Room temp Walmart water is my preferred as well. Yeah, nice. I don't know what it is about it. I don't really like the Sam's Choice water, because that was my other friend named Justin, the bass player, was all about the Sam's Choice water, and I didn't like that one. I'm not sure what it was. I mean, I don't like the Great Value one either, but if I had to pick one of the two, it's water, so you know. Oh, yes, so we just did Treus, so we are now at the Berserker, who is in here, and all we need to do here now is search for secret doors, make sure there's not something else leading anywhere, and there isn't. But now that we're through with that, we can send him down to help Valerna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and yeah, they know there's no traps in here, so 7. Cody says, as long as it ain't Dasani. Dasani tastes like hopelessness and loose change. Yeah, Dasani, sorry, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I tried both, because the Walmart, that was the Coke guys that brought Dasani, I think. Yeah, it didn't work. I don't remember what the Pepsi guys brought, but I didn't like that either. And Ice Mountain, I tried Ice Mountain, didn't like that. Yeah. Savannah drinks a lot of that smart water. I don't remember if I've tried that, to be honest.
It's expensive.
Expensive, yeah, true. Back over to the monk. She is now powered up by Courage. She still can't really do anything with any of her stuff. So now that she's couraged up, let's actually try and get rid of the mummy. So the mummy is kind of the biggest threat here, and she did manage to damage it earlier. She throws a courageous punch at the mummy, hitting it with a 2. Whoops. The mummy does not defend either hit, which means it is out of there. And Justin says, my work gets this bottled water that makes tap water taste amazing. Ooh, that's awful. And Cody says, I used to live on Deja Blue from the BP at the Circle. Yes, Justin liked that too. My other friend Justin was big on the Deja Blue. They still have that. That gas station's not a BP anymore, but Circle Mart now, I think is what it's called. But yeah, we discovered it's kind of like hidden at the very top. It's not easy to see, but they still have Deja Blue. Can we do anything else with her? We can search for secret doors at least. There are no secret doors in this room. And that takes us back over to Valerina the elf, who is over here in with these two monsters. Which one is she attacking? She's going to try and get rid of the zombie. Valerina swings, her battle axe, hitting the zombie with a 3. And it does not defend. Definitely dead. Is that all the zombies we've got? Yes, it is. Oh, I see. I was actually pulling from the wrong zombie drawer, but oh well. That'll be easier to tell when those guys get painted. Can she do anything else? No, the only thing left in here is treasure, and she can't do that until that monster's dead. So I guess we'll go ahead and get rid of her second action there and take us back to the monster's turn. And since we're over here, let's go ahead and take care of this deep skeleton. It is going to attack Valerina, swings his scythe at her, hitting her with only a 1, which she does not block. This drops her to 8 body points. She's not doing a very good job blocking in there. It's a good thing she still had a lot of health left. Over on the other side, we have got still kind of a problem here with Paya the monk. Let's get this regular skeleton is actually going to move a little bit. 1, 2, and then go ahead and swing its scythe at her, hitting her with a 1, which she does not block. Thankfully, she drank that potion, so this takes her to 7. The deep skeleton swings its scythe. Whoa, hitting her with a critical hit of 3. She blocks 2 and only takes 1. That's not too bad. I was ready to Twisting Torrent that hit, but she blocked most of it. And finally, she has a mummy. 1, 2, 3, also attacking her. It throws a punch, hitting her with a 1, which she blocks with the last dice that comes down. Cody says, I'd almost drive to Greenville just for a Deja Blue. Almost. Haven't seen it here in Piqua since moving here. Yeah, I imagine that's not something you see everywhere too much anymore. But it was definitely at that Circle Mart. All right, back over to the heroes. We are at Atreus, who can finally help out with some spells. It's a good thing that mummy moved into sight, because that is a proper target for a ball of flame. A large ball of flame appears at Atreus' fingertips. He directs it at the zombie, which is immediately engulfed in flames. The mummy tries to throw the effects of the spell off and is sort of successful, still taking 1 body point of damage. This is, oh yeah, that's right, Atreus has the vendetta against mummies too. So it was a good thing that he was ready to go. Now he can also attack. He sends a blast of energy from his wand at the mummy, but misses it. Okay, we need to jump over to the other side of the map to see Robert the Berserker attacking this deep skeleton. Swings his battle axe and hits the skeleton with a 2, which it does not defend. Out of there. Okay, this means that we need to draw for him. He doesn't have any sort of specific thing, does he? He likes secret doors, but that's already been searched. Is it going to be treasure or leave with the second action? It is going to be treasure. What does Robert find? While searching, a hidden arrow shoots from the wall and strikes him. He loses 1 body point. This drops him to 4. I forgot he was so far down on health. He's got a potion of healing, but I don't think it'll be necessary. Back over here, Paya is still fighting for her life. She has got courage, which means while this is active, we probably ought to be taking out one of the heavier hitters here. And he's got an easier time. I guess he could target any of them. Let's go ahead and draw for her. She is going to go ahead and attack the mummy. Paya throws a fist at the mummy. Whoa! Hitting it with a critical hit of 4. Now that is still not a skilled strike on a mummy, but it's probably dead. Yeah, it didn't roll a single black shield. That thing is as close to super dead as you get without a skilled strike. That was the way to go for her right there. No more searching can be done in that room, which means that she is... actually, let's go ahead and move her 1. And all this is really going to do is ensure that one of these monsters attacks Treyas instead of her. So we're kind of spreading the damage out a little bit better. Back over here with Valerna, the elf, there is now nothing left to search in this blue room, which means she can go ahead and head for that door. 1, 2, 3. Opening the door out into this hallway, we can see a wall. And if we go ahead and pull out and up a little bit more, we can also see, here we go, the exit door to the quest. With an open hallway here. And if we were to switch cameras, we can also see all the way down. So again, there's the exit door to the other end of this hallway, where we can also see the door into the green room and a wall there. Okay, Valerna, are we stopping to search for traps? Yes, she is. So we are going to be searching this entire hallway, the entire area that I just showed you, for traps, and there are indeed 2 spear traps in this hallway. One is here, fairly close to her, and the other one is pretty much in the equal position on the other side. Spear trap almost in front of each door, for the unsuspecting fool thinking they can walk out into the hallway without searching for traps. Actually, we do need to stay over here. Okay, monster's turn. We got a deep skeleton and a regular skeleton, and one of them is going for Treyas. Let's see which one it's gonna be. It is the deep skeleton. The deep skeleton moves up to the wizard and swings its scythe, hitting him with a 1, which he does not block. Luckily, again, he has not taken much damage this quest. That only brings him to 8. The regular skeleton moves along with Paya and swings its scythe at her, hitting her with a 1, which she does not block, dropping her to 5 points. She has taken a lot of damage this quest. If not for that healing, she would have been dead. Good thing she had a potion. Okay, we are now at, oh, Justin says, as long as I have really heavy metal, I'll survive no sleep. Yes, that'll keep you awake. Treyas is fighting a deep skeleton, and now that we know we're pretty near the end of the quest, I'd say that using that other ball of flame is probably not out of the question. Let's go ahead and get that working. A huge ball of flame appears at Treyas' fingertips. He directs it at the deep skeleton, which is immediately engulfed in flames. It makes an attempt to fight off the magical flames and is partially successful. However, it is still burned up. That's the way to go, Treyas. This also leaves him a long-range attack that he can make at that other skeleton. Is he going to go ahead and just clear this room? He fires a blast of energy from his wand, but misses. He has not been very accurate with that wand this quest. Okie dokie, Robert Tylan the Berserker over here in this area needs to walk out into that hallway, so let's see what he's doing. 7. Now again, neither of these guys can disarm traps, but spear traps have the same, you have the same odds of jumping over one of those as you would disarming it, so it's not really a big deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if he jumps it. He does. 6, 7. Oh, darn it, I said the thing. It's been a few episodes since I've accidentally said the thing. It's amazing the number of times in these episodes that I've accidentally said that. Now that he's out here, he can also search this area for secret doors. There aren't any. And again, this is from the wall that we're seeing all the way down to this wall. No secret doors. Merlin's here. Merlin, I didn't even know you were here. The Thing. Yes. The Thing being 6'7". I don't know if you're around kids often enough, Merlin, to hear that, but that's one of those things that kids say nowadays. Although I think even the kids are getting tired of it because I'm hearing it a lot less. Don't ask what it means because I don't think they know either. All right, we are at Paya the Monk. So back over here, let's see if she can get rid of this last monster. It is just a regular skeleton. She still has courage active. She throws a strong punch at the skeleton, hitting it with a 2, which it does not defend. You know what we haven't had very much this quest? Skilled strikes. Very few monsters super dead in this quest so far. It's kind of unusual. We're usually getting a little bit more of those. It's probably a good sign that the monsters are getting a little bit stronger. This also means the courage spell has worn off. Okay, she's got a second action. Might as well be treasure. Does she have any particular thing? No, actually, so we should roll for this. Treasure or leave. She's gonna leave. That's why we roll. 1, 2, 3. Opening the door, just revealing the same hallway we've already shown you. 4 and 5. Let's see if she jumps this trap. She does. 6, 7, 8. Thankfully, she got an 8 that time. Because it would have, again, somehow resulted in me saying the thing. Okay, nothing else she can do out there, but she is set up to head towards that exit door. Okay, that brings us to Valerna, over on the other side of the map. No more searching to be done, so it's pretty much just heading for that door. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. Okay, is there anything left to search? Oh yeah, we gotta get Treya searching that green room for treasure. Okay. Monster's turn. Now, you may notice that there are no monsters on the board. However, that is not exactly true because we have one more big surprise before we are done with this quest. Up here in that double wide, you'll notice the couple of walls we placed earlier. I guess that second one isn't quite on there. And up by that wall, or those walls, are laying in wait 4 ocean abominations. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And all of these guys are laying in wait for the heroes. So now that they have heard hero movement in the hallway, they can start heading down there. Now these are ocean monsters, which means they're fast. Hopefully they'll actually reach. So these guys have 10 movement squares. So I'm not sure if they'll actually reach a hero, but they are definitely coming for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Didn't quite reach them, but we'll go ahead and move the other guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we'll go ahead and send guys down the other way. So we already know that they're not gonna reach. Let's switch cameras for this because that camera is not gonna quite reach either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So kind of a scary last moment, although it is a little unfortunate from Zargon's perspective that none of those monsters actually reached the heroes for the surprise attack. This takes us back to Treus the Wizard, who is the only one that is not out there in that hallway. I'm switching cameras even though I don't need to. Here he is. He does need to search this green room for treasure before he goes and joins the fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then right before he leaves, we'll do this treasure search and see what he finds. He finds a potion of healing. Okay, seriously, how are there still potions in his deck? We'll mark that on his sheet. Justin says, that is an abomination. This is the gargoyle. Yes. We got to have at least one bardic quote per stream. Yeah, yes. Okay, that is Atreus done. So we are now at Robert Tylan the Berserker, who is on the other camera. Now he is behind Valerna, but he can't shoot long range. So it kind of worked out. He needs to be the one in the front. 1, 2, 3. Bohemia says the average roll on 2d6 is 7, saying 6, 7 counting movement is going to happen a lot. It has. It absolutely has. I hadn't taken that into consideration, that 7 is the average roll. Yeah. Robert swings with his battle axe, hitting the abomination with a 2. Let me go ahead and review stats real quick because I changed these. 3, 2, 2. Okay, so we took a defense dice away in favor of movement, essentially. Okay. Hit it with a 2. The abomination blocks both. Oh man, as a final battle for this quest, that's appropriate. Paya the monk. Not quite on camera, so let's go ahead and move this over here. Is also going to help. Up she goes. Now, unfortunately, she's got pretty low physical attack, but if she can end up using her element of water, the element of fire would be very handy here. Okay, she swings a fist at the abomination, hitting it with a 1, which it does not block. It doesn't kill it, but it's chipping some damage down. This then leaves us with Valerna the elf, who is on the other camera. She is at the back of this party. We are right at the limit of where this camera can go. She actually doesn't need to move at all. She has got a short bow. She puts an arrow in her bow and fires at the abomination, hitting it with 2. It blocks 1 and takes the other. So again, not dead, but close. These guys are putting up a fight right at the end. It is now the monster's turn, which means both of those guys can attack. Let's start with the one we're pointing at. The abomination attacks Robert Tylan. Ooh, he's low on health. Good thing he's got a potion for just in case. Okay, this thing can't one-shot him. Hits him with a 1, which he does block, but just barely. And then over on our other camera, we've also got an abomination attacking Paya. Swinging some claws at her and hitting her with a 2. She doesn't block either hit. Tell you what, we're going to use her Twisting Torrent for that. So this is her element of water. 2 cards, but if she uses one, it uses up both. This allows her to immediately negate any damage that she just took. So she will do that. This is also maybe going to make the quest for us because she has a thing in her element of fire that would attack all 4 of these abominations at once. And I think they can't defend it, which will kill all of them immediately, which would be a little, maybe a, well, no, I don't want to call that anticlimactic. If we had like a neat little animation of it happening, that would actually be really cool. Okay, anyway, we are back to Atreus the Wizard, who is just barely off camera back here in this green room. Let's get him out there to do some damage as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What has he got left in his spell repertoire that would be helpful? Sleep and Tempest. None of those things are particularly nice, considering that Paya might kill all of them on her next thing. Well, just so that we've got him doing something, let's have him go ahead and cast Tempest on the one that is closest to him. So if Paya's thing doesn't work the way I think it does, and if this particular abomination happens to survive, it will miss its next turn. Back over on the other camera, we have the Berserker, Robert Tylan, attacking the abomination right in front of him. He swings his battle axe, hitting it with a 2. It blocks 1 and takes the other. That does still kill it since it was already damaged. Nothing else Robert can do. I guess we could go ahead and have him move up 1. We are now at Paya the monk, who can use her last element, the element of fire, to use Burning Spirit. As an action, expel a beam of brilliant energy from your soul's core. This beam may be straight or diagonal and continues until it meets a wall or closed door. Each enemy in the beam takes 2 body points of damage. This cannot be defended. So indeed, we have 2 body points of damage, dead. 2 body points of damage, dead. And finally, 2 body points of damage, dead. Kinda, sorta. I mean, if you got destroyed by a brilliant beam of energy from the core of somebody's soul, I'd say you're super dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your brother and along with you.
Yeah, absolutely, your whole family at that point. Okay, so that is actually the end of the quest. So if we wanted to get real technical, they could search this kind of hallway, the double wide hallway here for stuff, but there isn't anything. Just to save us a tiny little bit of time that would end up being kind of wasted time, there's nothing up there. So the heroes continue on through the doors, exiting the warrior halls, and successfully completing this quest. Okay. Yeah, this was another kind of shorter quest. Honestly, there weren't that many rooms in this quest, but still some neat elements. Those Chaos Warriors in the middle room were meant to be a little bit more of a challenge. The heroes got really, really lucky knocking stuff out there. So let's go ahead and clean up items. We'll also clean up unused spells and skills. There we go. And let's gather up all of this. We are also going to award each surviving hero 50 gold coins for a total of 200. Now, I think I've said this in all the previous episodes. Throughout the first book, that is Mentor paying the heroes to kind of suit themselves up. In this quest book, it does work just slightly differently. Now, they're still getting the same amount of coins, but for a lore reason, I think it's a little bit safer to say, keep in mind that all 11 heroes we have in the ranks are in these tunnels. What we saw tonight was just happened to be what this particular group of 4 heroes was doing. So the other 7 heroes were also out doing stuff. So we could, from a lore perspective, say that this 200 coins was the total amount that the other 7 heroes found. Just so that we have a little bit of more of a lore reason that makes sense. Now, in addition to the gold, surviving heroes also get 2 skill set points, which must be spent immediately. We've got 6 categories that they can spend those points wherever they want. 10 levels in each of the 6 categories. Those 10 levels affect the different character classes differently. There's not a reward for every level, but there's always something good for maxing something out. So we'll just go through them one by one. Treyas the Wizard. Almost the least amount, actually I think the least amount of damage taken out of everybody this quest, but still was handy being the guy who could do traps, being the kind of powerhouse with spells. This was his 7th total quest ever, which is kind of neat. His first point tonight is going to be Constitution level 4, which gives him another body point. So he's going to go up to a max of 12. Awesome, that's definitely going to come in handy. And his second point is going to be Magic Memorization level 4. Let's see if that is anything for a wizard. It is not, but level 5 is going to be pick 2 spells instead of them being random. So as per usual, again, he has set himself up well to keep doing good stuff. Next, Robert Tylan. Now, he did a lot this quest. He, as a berserker should, spent a lot of the quest low on body points. Got to use 2 of his 3 skills, which is nice. That last skill we don't see too often because it does require you getting very dangerously low on body points to use. But I think he did pretty good. This was also his 7th ever quest. Let's see, his first point is going to go into Education level 3. Education increases your mind points, but level 3 is nothing. His second skill is then going to be Combat level 3. Let's see if that is anything for a berserker. No, but level 4 will allow him to use each of his berserker skills twice per quest instead of once. And that will come really in handy, especially that Enrage. So he doesn't have that yet, but he will be getting that probably fairly soon. Paya, the monk, actually managed to use all of her monk skills. That's not the first time that's happened, but it's always good when it does. So I think she struggled a little bit this quest. That 2 attack dice is really holding her back. She really needs to build her combat to get that attack dice up. I mean, we could buy her something. Actually, she probably doesn't have access to the broadsword. So, yeah, we might need to take a look and see if there's something we can buy her until she gets her combat level up. This was her 7th quest. Her first point tonight is going to be Constitution level 1. Constitution raises body points, but level 1 isn't anything for her. And her second point is going to be Constitution level 2. Okay, she must have been really worried about body points because level 2 is going to give her 11 max body points. She did take a pretty decent amount of damage this time, so that kind of makes sense that that would be on her mind to increase. Okay. Finally, we have Valerna, the elf. She did a lot of jumping in. I think that battle axe we got her really helped her jump into the monsters and take them out pretty easily. An elf with a battle axe is a dangerous elf indeed. Let's see what she's got. Her first point is going to be Machinery level 1. Machinery has to do with disarming traps. Level 1 isn't anything for her. Bohemia says, as planned, I'm sending in Discord the pics of the minis painted during the stream. Awesome, yes, I'm looking forward to seeing those. Oh, Savannah says they look really good. She's seeing it already. I can't look at Discord until the stream's over because my phone is one of the cameras. So I can't see anything that gets sent to me midstream. Her other point is going to be Magic Skill level 3. What is that for her? Probably not much. Yeah, she doesn't get anything till level 6. Oh, yeah. That Frozen Horror looks awesome. The blue and white on the skin tone, fantastic. Who's the guy under that? I don't recognize that mini. It's neat looking, but I don't recognize that. Man, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to taking a closer look at those. Okay, that was both of hers, right? Did we do both of hers already? No, I've lost it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we did do both of hers. Okay, and did she get anything for the, what was the sec? My memory is so awful. She did Magic Skill 3, didn't she? Okay, I was looking at the monk. I didn't even look at the right thing. Yes, she did. Okay, yeah, and that is something for her. So, for an elf, that allows her... Oh, sorry, Bohemia says it's a Chaos Warlock from Talisman 90. Okay, I've heard of that. Nice. She gets a specialty set. Okay, we need a vote. Who all's still watching? We got 6 viewers, apparently. I need some votes. Spells of Protection, Spells of Detection, or Spells of Darkness for the elf. She is getting access to one of those with the skill set she just built. It doesn't super matter. They are all kind of neat spells that she might get. Again, she won't be getting all 3 of any of them, but they will be added to the ones that she has access to. Spells of Detection, Spells of Protection, or Spells of Darkness. Bohemia says Darkness. I like that. I like the Darkness spells. Any other votes? I am prepared to go with Darkness.
I was going to say Darkness too.
Savannah also votes Darkness. Going once. Going twice. Type quick. All right, we're going to go Spells of Darkness. Okay, Justin says Darkness too. That was good. That was everybody's in agreement that's saying stuff. So Valerna will be, she will have access to Spells of Darkness for future quests. Awesome. Okay, that is gonna do it. Now, man, Keller's Keep is flying by quick. That was already quest 3, and there are 11 quests in this. Now, again, normally 10 quests in Keller's Keep, but because we added the Forsaken Tunnels of Zorzel at the beginning, it bumped it up to 11. So we are getting sort of near the halfway point already, which is weird. Maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit saying that, but we have some exciting stuff going on. So tomorrow night at midnight, painting stream. We don't know yet what Savannah is going to be painting, but she started tonight on mountain orcs, right?
Yes, I'm finishing them.
So she's probably going to be doing some mountain orcs on stream tomorrow night, which is going to be exciting. So definitely come hang out with her. Then Monday night, we are going to be back for Quest 4, and we are going to have none other than Merlin Zanzar from right here in the chat here live with us. In fact, he's going to start coming every Monday So from this point on, Monday nights are going to be quest nights with Merlin. So he is going to be continuing the hero's journey. We're not doing a separate thing with him, just like when Justin was here. He's just going to take control of the heroes for Monday nights to have some fun with us. So look forward to that. I'm looking forward to getting into more of these quests. And also, for sure, we are going to try out this week a creative stream or a brainstorming stream on Thursday night, which means every single night of the week is now a Midnight Quest night. So get ready for lots and lots and lots of Midnight Quest nights. You guys know the drill, but just in case there happens to be anybody watching that doesn't normally, quests on Friday nights, Saturday nights, Monday nights, and Tuesday nights. We are going to be doing painting streams Sunday nights and Wednesday nights, and now a creative / administrative / brainstorming stream on Thursday nights. So every night of the week at midnight Eastern time, come hang out with us here. We hope to have you again. Thank you everybody for watching, whether you watched a little bit or whether you watched a big chunk, whether you're watching this live on Twitch or whether you're watching this later on YouTube, or if you're Justin Pollitt, you probably have watched both. I don't know, are you catching clips now as you watch them, or are you only going back and watching the previous ones? Either way, thank you so much everybody for watching. Thank you to everybody who chatted tonight. Of course, Cody, Justin Pollitt, Merlin, Bohemius, Gohan, thank you guys for chatting. It's always a fantastic time with you guys in here. If you're watching right now and you didn't throw anything in the chat, don't be afraid to next time. It's a great time in here. We're all friendly. We don't bite unless you really make anybody mad. Justin might bite you, but probably not. We're all real friendly, so definitely feel free to jump into the chat. There is also a link to the Midnight Quest Discord, which is brand new. If you scroll up the chat a little while, you will find that. Jump in there and have some conversation with us there. I'm going to be posting, right after I get off the stream, a poll for a new hero. At the end of this book, we're getting a new hero, and there are 3 minis we could possibly use. So we're going to be voting in the Discord. I already forgot the name. We're going to be voting the Discord on which mini is going to be added to the heroes ranks at the end of this book. So definitely don't miss that. Thank you one more time for watching, and we will catch you next time on Midnight Quest.